It's a new day in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is back, but there's no Davante Adams. You're very lean on weapons. Obviously, there's still time to do something in free agency, but in this 2022 post-free agency 7-round mock draft, the Green Bay Packers, at least with the Davante Adams deal, you get 2 first-round draft picks now.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I'm looking at Green Bay and Kansas City the same way. Do I want to pay a receiver $30 million no matter how good they are? No. Especially not when I'm paying my quarterback $50 million. This draft is flush with receivers, and you can assume that one of their first 2 picks is going to be one of those.
Let's get started at number 22 overall, Treylon Burks from Arkansas.
I think this kid could be Deebo Samuel on steroids because he's bigger.
That's high praise.
Very good yard after the catch. The thing that bothers me about Treylon Burks, I don't think he could block me, which is weird from a 6'3", 225-pound wide receiver. Everything at the point of attack, there's really not many ways I can ding him. He had a few drops. To me, outside of Drake London, he's my 2. I'd rather have him than Garrett Wilson. I'd rather have him than Chris Olave. I'd rather have him than Jameson Williams. I just really like this kid. And the more time goes on, I know he ran a 4.55, and some people freaked out about that. I don't care. I don't care how straight line fast you can run. John Ross ran a 4.22 and couldn't play dead in a Western.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I watched this kid on film. Arkansas, they were at a talent deficiency against damn near everybody they played in the SEC, and he showed out in every film that I watched.
Yep.
I love this kid. I think he's an immediate number 1 wide receiver. Effort, okay. Maybe there were some times that the effort wasn't necessarily there, but it was not consistently. I love this kid.
Right. Do you think that's going to continue when he gets in the pros? I've said the same thing about guys like Kayvon Thibodeau. I mean, they knew they were going to be top. He knew he was going to be a top pick for the last 3 years.
It doesn't run a huge route tree either. It wasn't a very elaborate offense at Arkansas. So he's going to come into the NFL needing to grow the route tree. But I don't care. Big, physical, yard after catch monster, home run.
Yep, absolutely. At number 28 overall, Lewis Sin, safety out of Georgia. So going with another Georgia defensive back late in the first round like they did last year with Eric Stokes.
You remember when everybody thought Darnell Savage was going to be a thing? He's not. He's not. He can still be a usable piece. He's just not going to be the center field safety of your defense. His eye discipline's not good enough. Lewis Sin, that's not a problem. Very rangy, very fast. Ran a sub 4.40 at 6'1", 200 pounds. There's a lot to like about Lewis Sin. If I had to ding him on anything, sometimes he gets flushed out with bathwater in the run game. He's not a huge safety, but he's got a pretty ideal size. And the highest praise I can give you, the best game you played in your life was in the national title game. I don't see how that's a negative, and I keep hearing people say it like it's one. I can't wrap my head around how that's a problem. Very instinctive, very good tackler. To me, this is a long-time free safety in the NFL, and he's rangy enough. Single high, you can do all kinds of shit with Lewis Sin. I don't love many safeties in this draft, especially once you get past Kyle Hamilton. I like Lewis Sin, and I've grown to like him more the more and more this process has gone on.
He would definitely fill a slot for the Green Bay Packers forever.
Yeah, because Darnell Savage is bad. All
right, how about adding to that offensive line, going to their first of 2 picks in the second round at 53 overall. You got Nicholas Petit-Frere, the offensive tackle out of Ohio State.
I think if this kid was on the board when Green Bay came up in the second round, Brian Gutekunst might pleasure himself in the draft room and then skip to the podium. I have liked this kid for a really long time. People are using the Aiden Hutchinson tape against him because Hutchinson ate his lunchbox. It was a bad day. You ever had a bad day? I feel like a lot of people have had a bad day. His was in the biggest game of his life. And that took him from being to me, a no doubt 1, to now he's in the back end of the second round. I don't know that he's going to get there. If he does, Green Bay would not think a second thing about it. I'll be honest with you. They might take him with their second first rounder. He's that good. This kid's going to be an immediate upgrade at anything you have, especially in the run game. You got to teach him some technique in the passing game. Ohio State, it is really hard to gauge offensive players from Ohio State because they're so far superior to who they play in the Big Ten. Then you get into this, the technique, that's why Aiden Hutchinson Hutchinson's going to be a top 5 pick in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the best player he ever played in his life. Very athletic. I think he's a day one starter at right tackle.
At number 59 in the second round, Calvin Austin III, wide receiver out of Memphis.
Hey, you remember how you don't have any receivers? Well, here's the second one. Because this kid could start in the slot immediately. Very shifty. Not necessarily the home run deep threat that you would expect. You're going to have to generate touches for this kid in the beginning. It doesn't run a very complex route tree, but he's just so damn shifty. The Senior Bowl, he killed it. Killed it at the Combine, ran a 4.32. The depth of this receiver class should tell you, or with him being here, that should tell you the depth of this receiver class. I like this kid a lot. He's a track star kind of player. Kind of reminds me of what Randall Cobb was a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Just get the damn ball in his hands. Is he a really refined route runner right now? No. He also has Olympic speed. So I think you'll figure it out. I think Aaron Rodgers will find a way to get him the ball.
There's no doubt about that. So 2 wide receivers now in the first 4 picks of the draft for the Green Bay Packers. You might consider a third at some point. Let's go down to the third round, 92nd overall. Another athletic freak out of Virginia Tech, edge rusher Amari Barno.
Needs to be refined. And the good thing is that Green Bay may be the ideal spot because he'll play behind Rashawn Gary and behind Preston Smith. I think he could be a replacement for Preston Smith in a year or two. Ran a 4.36 at 6'6", 240. That's still funny every time I say it out loud. This kid was on my Chase Claypool list, which is 22 players, 11 offense, 11 defense, that I am higher on than the industry. He wasn't coached well at Virginia Tech. Nobody was. But this is a raw ball of clay that you can shape however you want to. And to me, he fits in that 3-4 scheme. He can be a situational pass rusher right off the jump. Sometimes takes some weird angles against the run. That goes to the coaching thing. I would never play him against the run. First year in the league, you have one job. See ball, get ball when it's in quarterback's hands. Yep. That's it. I don't need you to do anything else. Just be hyper athletic, long, hard to block, fast as hell, off the edge, and I think Green Bay's an ideal fit for him.
2 picks in the 4th round belong to the Green Bay Packers. One's a compensatory pick. We'll get to that one in a second. But at 132 overall, Joshua Williams out of Fayetteville State. He's a cornerback, and probably not a lot of people know much about this kid.
It's not far from where I say not far. It's a few hours from where we are. This kid has great size. 6'3", $195, ran a 4.5 at the Combine. I wanted to see him run a little bit faster, but I'm okay. He's a developmental corner. Absolutely dominated a very low-level bit of competition. Mm-hmm. The last player drafted out of Fayetteville State was in 1973. I was negative 14 years old. So, it's not like he's playing in the SEC. So there is going to be a transition period. There's a question of, was he a big fish in a small pond? And that's entirely possible. It was not a great jam corner, which you would expect him to be at his size. I think he's going to have to add a little bit of weight. If he's going to play at this size, he's going to have to be bigger and more physical. Some people think he could be a safety. I'm not that down. I think his feet are good enough. And you got to realize he's getting D2 level coaching or NAI. I don't even know I can't even remember what Fayetteville State is now that I've said it. It's not like he's being coached by Nick Saban. I think 1 or 2 years in the league, and you could be tremendously surprised by what you could unlock in this kid.
At number 140 overall, the Green Bay Packers have a compensatory pick here at the end of the 4th round. Jack Sanborn, linebacker from Wisconsin.
What does Wisconsin put out just regularly?
Great tacklers.
Big old blue-collar, badass tackling, pass-rushing marvels that couldn't play dead in the Western in coverage.
Yep.
That's exactly what Jack Sanborn is. Plays fast, plays like his hair's on fire. A little upright sometimes. Height, weight, speed's not overly impressive. He's 6'2", 240, around 4'7", 540. So, I mean, it's not like he is the exact opposite of what Amari Barno is. Because this is a finished product. This is a guy that you could slot in at one of your inside linebacker spots right now. And I think he can play right now. Only thing is he's not going to get much better. This is going to be one of those lunch pail, I'm trying to think of even I use this in another team in this division, but I'll do it again. He's going to be a Josie Scott kind of guy that you look at him and go, you don't look like an NFL player. Then you watch
Josie Jewell.
Josie Scott's the lead singer of Saliva.
Yeah, he was.
Josie Jewell. Yeah. Only a hero can save us.
And a hero can save us.
Yeah, that was awful. Please stop doing that. He might be as athletic as Josie Scott, but he's a really good instinctive football player. I like Jack Sanborn a lot. I think he has a role immediately. And there's not, once you start getting to this point, this is where you get into developmental pieces. This is a win now kind of player that can play 30, 35 snaps a game right now.
7 picks in the first 4 rounds for the Green Bay Packers. Still have 4 to go here in the Sportsocracy post-free agency 7-round mock draft from the Ingles studio. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. In the 5th round, 171 overall, another cornerback. This one out of Arizona State, Jack Jones.
Virtually everything I've seen him do positively was in zone. I don't know that at his size he's ever going to be able to play press man. I don't know that he's ever going to be a 1. As a matter of fact, I can go ahead and tell you, he's not ever going to be a 1. 5'10", $175. Needs to add good weight to the frame. And not crazy fast, but very instinctive. I like him to start as a 4th corner, kind of learn the NFL ways, get some good coaching, bulk up, feed him cheeseburgers every single day because he needs to add some weight. But most of the drawbacks are things that he won't be at. He was a 1 at Arizona State. He will never be a 1 in the NFL. So the mismatches that the bad tape came from does not come in the NFL. Got absolutely annihilated by USC. Other than that, there's a lot to like. Just going to have to bulk him up.
3 picks in the 7th round. The first one at 228 overall. Jake Ferguson, another Badger from Wisconsin, the tight end.
Yeah, athleticism and his name have never been put in the same sentence because he is about as athletic as a wet fart, but he has really good hands and just finds a way to get open. He's one of those weird players. We have these in the league all the time. I don't understand how you get up. Mark Andrews is a perfect example of this. I do not understand how you get open because I think in a foot race you would lose to me. But you're open a lot. Was open in the Senior Bowl a lot. Then he goes to the combine and runs a 4.8, and everybody forgets all the shit I just said. Now I hear people say, "Oh, he won't even get drafted in this tight end class." Yep, that's stupid. That's a stupid thing you just said, and you shouldn't say it again because yes, he will, and I think it will be by Green Bay.
Right.
This is one of those players like Justin Ross with Pittsburgh. I already know they like him. It's just a question of how high are they willing to take him, and will somebody snake them before they're ready. I think he ends up in Green Bay. Couldn't block a lick, by the way.
Can't block.
Technique's fine, just not strong enough.
I was going to say,
gets into that height, weight, speed thing.
I was going to say, you would expect a guy that big to be a good blocker, but
he's just a little.
Right.
He's just a little. He kind of blocks like he's got a 2x4 in his ass, but it's okay. You get open that often, I don't really care. Jaden
Peavy, defensive tackle from Texas A&M.
Not a great tackler, but he is a mountain. 6'6", 315. Not overly athletic, not a great pass rusher. Got some moves. Most of them were, hey, I'm bigger than you, and I'm just going to run through you. Virtually anytime he came up against somebody with good technique, you would see that cease to work. It also makes me nervous that he spent his entire career with DeMarvin Leal right beside him. And there was never anything that just jumped out. You could see the talent. He's very good against the run. And I'm forecasting slightly here, and not always something that I do particularly well. I think in time, he can be a 3-4 DN. That's where I think I don't think he's a nose. Could be. Might want to bulk him up a little bit, strengthen him up a little bit. But I think he could, you could actually lean him down a little bit and put him on the outside in a 3-4 on the line. And I think that's his best path to righteousness.
The last pick, a compensatory pick in the 7th round, 258 overall. Abram Smith, running back from Baylor.
Look, and I'm not sitting here telling you that running back's the biggest need for Green Bay. This kid should not still be on the board. He had a great Senior Bowl. And it really it kind of turned my head because I didn't have a draftable grade on him. I watched that and I went, yeah, I should go back. And the more I watched, the more I liked. But then you run into this problem of you're a short, squatty running back that's not overly athletic. You don't pass block well. You don't catch well. You really do one thing, which is take ball and run. And that's it. You don't provide much else. Good depth piece, good third running back. If something ever happened to Aaron Jones, I feel confident enough in A.J. Dillon that he could occupy the bell cow work, the passing downs work, and Abram Smith could come in as a third that ran between the tackles, gives you 4 to 6 carries a game. And that's what I think he is for his career. I don't know that he's ever going to be able to develop past that. The vision's pretty good, not elite. He's a yeah-but player. Yeah, you can do this, but not as well as you want him to. And you just keep doing that, and that's how he winds up in the 7th round.
Green Bay Packer fans should be pretty happy, not only with the whole haul here, but especially at the top with Treylon, Burks. You get 4 impact players in those first 4 picks, in my opinion, because I like Calvin Austin a lot.
This is one of my favorite draft classes that we have across all 32, which will be coming out right here on the channel. If you agree with them, if you don't agree with them, if you think the man-bun bearded ginger is a dipshit and you want to put your mock draft in the comments, I'll grade yours. But comment all those things out. I go through those every day and answer them. If there's a player you'd like to know how they fit with the Green Bay Packers, chuck that in there, and I will answer those. If I miss a day, I apologize. The draft could be a very busy time of year, but I will get to them as quickly as I can.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you get all of our team-by-team content here throughout the Draftmas season, as we call it, here in the Sportsocracy. We're always from the Ingles studio. Low prices, love the savings. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.